Epic really doesn't begin to describe the feeling I have right now. I grew up in Ontario myself, in a small farm town near Stratford, and graduated from Wilfrid Laurier with an economics and philosophy degree. But Ontario wasn't the place for me, even though I'm seven-generation farmer on both sides. I struck it west to make the world a better place. I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I was going to write. But when I went to my first hempology meeting and learned about this plant, about the whole reefer madness conspiracy and hemp and all of its amazing benefits, it just occurred to me that this plant's story needed to be told, that if the public learned the truth about this plant, then it would be legalized. No one could deny the value that it has. That just seemed so clear to me. So very much along the lines of what Owen said, you know, just educate, educate, educate. That's what brought us here today and will get us into the future. And so that was basically 20 years ago, I decided to educate the world and write Hempology 101, the history and uses of cannabis sativa. And so it took a while, because as soon as I moved to Victoria and started hempology meetings, I began meeting sick people. And I met this lady that made cookies and brownies and sobs and stuff I'd never even heard of before, and she volunteered in the AIDS community. Back in 1995, people were dying of AIDS like flies. I hate to use that term, but really it was sickening. They would get AIDS very quickly, and they would start to waste away. The drugs doctors were giving them were cocktails that would kill them faster most of the time. People were living longer not using their drugs, but they were living even longer if they smoked some pot. But I tell you, if they ate her cookies, they'd regain weight. They'd go back to work again. They'd want to live again. It turned their lives around. As I think most of you have probably done too. And so I saw that in '95. I'm like a 26-year-old man going, well, these people can't defend themselves. They might not live in 2 months' time. And that's when I decided, with my friend's help, to start the Victoria Cannabis Buyers Club. And I lived in a van. Thank you. I lived in a van, I got a pager and a pamphlet, and decided that I was going to break the law as much as I could, as often as I could, until I beat it back, and with the help of others, obviously, got a storefront and had a non-profit society and changed the law. It is stunning to have gone through this journey that brings me back to Ottawa to do what I struck out to do 20 years ago. But as Owen said, it's not just me that's done it, it's not just Owen that's done it, it's not just Kirk and John Conroy tomorrow, or Eugene Oscapello, the professor from Ottawa here. You know, it's been a combined effort of decades of people that have thrown their bodies against this machine, or in many cases, hidden from the machine to keep their body alive. But whatever it's took, it's got us here. And it's phenomenal to be in this age where we're not only close to legalizing it here in Canada, but it's becoming legal around the world. To see what's happening in the United States, it's bizarre. It really is. And so, you know, this tomorrow, I am certain that the Canadian public is going to see through this prohibition very clearly tomorrow when this case is presented to the Supreme Court of Canada. You know, it's going to strike a blow in these laws that has never been struck before in this country. You know, and like I say, a lot of things have led to it. The Parker decision, you know, Hitzig, and many things in law, but it's far beyond that now. You know, we are winning in the streets. We've almost won in the streets. The opposition is rare to fight, you know, like they just don't pop up very often, you know. And so tomorrow is such a phenomenal day, I think, for many of us. And you know, that's obvious and it's just so humbling and amazing to be in the presence of you all as well. I certainly only know a fraction of you, but I've come to know many of you. And it is just thrilling and such an amazing... And so, yeah, there's been a lot of transformation occur. When Owen was arrested 5 years ago, it's kind of funny, most people don't know this, but Owen was actually arrested because he's a DJ and he plays his electronic music so loud he bugged a little old lady till she called the cops on him. That's why we're going to the Supreme Court of Canada tomorrow. Sure, it smelled a little bit coming out the door, but the cops didn't come with a warrant for that. They just came knocking on the door. And, you know, Owen, bless his heart, you know, wasn't really a frontline activist at the time. He was baking other people's recipes. You know, like he was just kind of doing his job when this happened to him. But I tell you, there's never been an arrest where the individual arrested was more righteous. And you could see it as he came out of the apartment building. The cops didn't put the cuffs on him. The cops came out of the building with their heads down. They didn't want to look at me, right? They're like embarrassed. Owen comes out with his head up and his chest out, like, what's going on? You know, it was an incredible feeling from the moment that it happened. And the transformations that have occurred have been just phenomenal. After Owen won in 2012, the police actually took my court case, or Owen's court case, to the Buyers Club, and, or no, sorry, not to the Buyers Club, to Canada Revenue Agency, because I wasn't paying taxes. And so they sent special agents down, and I ended up declaring bankruptcy against $250,000 in unpaid back taxes, turned the club into a non-profit society. It was funny, when the officers were in the club, they're like, you know, we want to get your taxes. And I'm like, yeah, you guys are making this legit. We're like, no, this isn't going to make it legit. I'm like, yeah, baby, this is making it legit, you know. And it's been amazing to see, because through our court case, a lot of people have felt empowered to produce extracts and open up clubs, right? You know, and so in Victoria, we've gone from a couple clubs when Owen was arrested to now there's like 13 dispensaries. And they're pushing their luck so much that actually Dieter, the new executive director, and I had a meeting with the city manager on Tuesday, because next month the city's going to have to come up with some kind of policy without a business license on managing dispensaries. And our court case is what's protecting those clubs, because the police realize it's a waste of time walking in the door. So they want to deal with it with bylaw, which is amazing, because right now we're under mandatory minimums with a gun to our head. Every day we're delivering medicine there. And it's very scary to know that. But you know, through this court case, through the combined effort of everybody in this room and all of our Facebook friends, this is changing. And I just can't say thank you enough to all the individuals that have helped. The coalition, I should give you guys so much kudos. We wouldn't be here without the coalition tonight. Justin is an amazing man. He put, you know, this together, and David George, wherever he's hiding around here, there he is. He's the man that got us. You guys are vaporizing in the Legion in downtown Ottawa? And again, Justin with the bus and everything, and Jason obviously for spearheading the whole coalition. Like, you guys really deserve a lot of credit for all your support. And the work with the Allard child, my God, like, you know, that's a whole other speech, a whole other night. We got to get back to partying. I could talk all fucking night. So if you want to follow what's going on with the court case, one of the other transformations has been that when Owen got busted, nobody really knew much about us out there, and Cannabis Culture stopped printing, and we had a newsletter already, but I wanted to tell our story and tell it broad. So we turned the newsletter into a newspaper, the Cannabis Digest. And just last year, actually, the original editor left and Owen kind of shifted gears. So Owen's actually not working for the Buyers Club anymore. Owen's working like pretty much half-time, publishing the Cannabis Digest and our online publication. Every day we're publishing a blog online. Obviously our trial's the main focus, but we're trying to cover the broader community. If any of you activists in there want to write a blog and contribute, by all means, you know, we're looking for contributions all the time. But it comes out 4 times a year, and if you have a business, it's the best advertising for your buck. I only brought a small handful, but I screwed up and didn't get them sent out here. And I only got a couple of books left for 20 bucks if you want them. Otherwise, again, thank you so much, everybody, for making the effort to come here and all the work that you do every day of the week. And just thank you to the coalition. God bless, folks.
Pleasure.
Oh, thank you, folks. Oh, my pleasure.